Welcome back to our Kings related YouTube channel, wherever you may be. And this recap of the Kings 115 110 loss Thursday night at Memphis to the Grizzlies. And I'll just sum this up, folks. The Kings, they played well enough to win this game. But the difference, Mako, in my opinion, was 60 to 15. The the Grizzlies bench outscored the Kings bench 60 to 15. And we knew that the starting five was going to be really good for this team. But it's the lack of a bench that is killing this team this season, because the Kings bench ranks 27th per game in points at 25.7 entering tonight's game, near the bottom of the league in bench scoring. It's not good. And this is the Kings' 8th loss of the season by 5 points or less. 5 points or less. All but 2 of the losses have come with the opponent outshooting Sacramento from 3. And the total point differential in those losses is 26. And the 3-point differential in those games has been 142 to 120. 66 points. And the Kings tonight again, 8 of 35 from 3. But to make things worse, Fox, Keegan, and Kevin Hurdle, they were a combined 1 of 20 from 3 in this game. And this is a good Memphis Grizzlies team. They really are. And I know last year was a down year for them with all the injuries. And this is a good Grizzlies team and a deep Grizzlies team. Like, they play like everybody. Like, they go through like a 10 to 11 man rotation. They play fast. Both top 10 in both offensive rating and defensive rating. And what's most frustrating is Ja Morant in this game, 8 points, 2 of 13 from the field. He got ejected late in this game. And he's the heart and soul of this team, like kind of the leader. And they really didn't miss a beat. But they do play well with him and without him. And that's a credit to the depth of this Grizzlies team. And it showed. So the Kings, you had De'Aaron Fox, not a great shooting night. But most importantly, I thought defensively he was locked in. De'Aaron Fox had 6 steals tonight in this game. Malik Monk, in that starting role, 23 points, 4 of 9 from 3. He was the best 3-point shooter by 4 tonight. Sabonis, a double-double, 17, 13, and then 6 assists. Keegan Murray, a double-double, 11 for 11. DeRozan, 26 points in this game, 13 of 14 from the free throw line. But the bench, the only bench scoring you got from this team tonight was Kevin and Isaac Jones. That's not going to cut it here in the NBA. And in today's NBA, when you're not knocking down threes, you are not going to win in today's NBA. The Memphis Grizzlies, to close out that first quarter, to close out the first half, they went on a 12-4 run. And they led after the first half by 1. Then the Kings went on their run in that second quarter. And then in the third quarter, the Kings made 1. They were 1 of 10 from 3 in this game. That's not going to cut it. So, on a first night of a back-to-back, because you're in San Antonio tomorrow, against a San Antonio team that you have not played well in the first 2 meetings, but that's not going to cut it in this league. Like, this season, now that you're 10-13, the lack of a bench is killing this team. 3-point shooting is killing this team. And also Mike Brown, some of his coaching decisions in this game, like you had Jordan McLaughlin, who played in that first half, did not play in the second half. Keon Ellis, who did not play in the first half, he only played 2 minutes in that second half. So again, you had Keegan Murray, who played 40 minutes. DeRozan, 35 minutes. Fox, 37. Monk, 31. Sabonis, 35 minutes. Like, your main guys on a first night of a back-to-back are playing these heavy minutes. And that's why it's on Monty McNair and this front office of not building out the depth of this team in the offseason. And it's showing just in this game. 60-15 in bench scoring. That's why you lost this game. In my opinion, that's why you lost. Because I thought the Kings had 13 turnovers. The Grizzlies had 22 turnovers. 22 turnovers for the Grizzlies. And the Kings had 29 points off those turnovers. Like the Kings, they didn't play bad, but they played well enough to win. But 3-point shooting and the bench, 2 of the main reasons why they lost this game. Fast break points, Memphis 22-9. And also another reason, in my opinion, why the Kings lost this game, the Grizzlies' run to end the first quarter, the Kings' run that they got on in the second quarter, and then the Grizzlies will, in that third quarter, the Kings did not score a bucket, a field goal, for like about a 4-minute stretch in that third quarter. And that's, I believe, one of the reasons why they lost this game. So Kings fall by 5 to the Grizzlies, 115-110. They're now 10-13 on the season. And the Kings dug themselves a hole themselves. And in this Western Conference, it is going to be tough to dig out of this hole. Because the West is brutal with so many good teams. But fortunately, some of these teams are coming back down to earth a little bit. But it's a tough battle because you dug yourself this early hole and now you got to dig yourself out. So hopefully you can go to San Antonio tomorrow night and come back home 1-1 before you face the Utah Jazz on Sunday. So win tomorrow night and come back home. So speaking of San Antonio, they also played tonight. They lost to Chicago 139 to 124. Wemby did not play in that game because of, I think it was a back soreness. So don't know if he'll play tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. You had the Phoenix Suns, who lost by 2 in New Orleans, 126 to 124. Kevin Durant is out, I believe, 1 to 2 weeks with an ankle injury. So they're kind of hit and miss. I think when he came back, they were 3-1 when he came back. So they'll be without KD for I think a week or two with that ankle injury. The New York Knicks, they beat Charlotte 125 to 121, and that Knicks team, they're coming on themselves after that Carl Anthony trade this offseason. Took them a while to get things going, but they're finding the groove right now. So the Knicks beat Charlotte. The Mavericks, they beat Washington 137 to 101. Cleveland, they beat the Nuggets 126 to 114. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they beat Toronto, blew them out 129 to 192. But sum up this Kings game, they played well enough to win, but got outscored in the bench scoring. And again, poor 3-point shooting let them down once again as they fall to the Memphis Grizzlies by 5 and are now 10-13 on the season. Back at it tomorrow night in San Antonio. Hopefully they can get a win though. You kind of owe them one because that last meeting should have won that game, but you didn't. So we'll see if they win tomorrow. We're back for another recap following Spurs Kings tomorrow night. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you right back here for another recap tomorrow night following Kings Spurs on Friday night. And go Kings.